again. I had to go to Costco and get my petrol, so definitely I'd recommend that. I joined and it's always so much cheaper, so I actually don't think I could do everything that I do without paying cheaper fuel. So if you can save somehow, you just do it. And for me, it's Costco's petrol. That was really good, but I'm getting off one and tangent again. I went to Spotlight. So I got a few more things. One of them is for the Bedazzled Scrunchies. They're coming. So, but this one is for hand towels. Now, Mum, she is the hand towel making master. I sort of know how to make them a little bit. I know some of the steps involved, but she definitely is the go-to person for how to make them. So I got this one, this fabric, and then I got this pretty fabric. It is adorable. It's got the greens and blues and purples, and yes, doesn't really have any pink in it, but very pretty with the gold metallic. I just realized maybe if I hold it up closer, hopefully that was in focus. I feel like it's such a skill set with camera and videography. I got an extra piece of this. I remember there was, yeah, I got two pieces, but they're separate. So I think I'll make some scrunchies in this. Don't you think it's gorgeous? I think it'd be so pretty in the hair. It's pastel, but it's also got the black background and the gold metallic, and also pretty on hand towels. So yeah, that is for these little guys here. So there's the bunnies here, and they're wearing glasses. I thought they were really, really cute. Got these yesterday, so yeah, we went into the store and I couldn't help myself. This one's wearing green glasses. And yeah, we couldn't match the green, but I thought it didn't go very well with the blue, but this one will go into this kind of material, and they're gonna look really good. Now you can hang those up on your kitchen doors, or in your bathroom doors, or even over the oven. Just make sure it's not on there when the oven's turned on, because we don't want to start any fires. So yeah, Mum and I always move everything, but not everyone is as concerned as we are. I also got this hand towel, and that is so pretty. I don't know if you see the bunny, and she's got flowers in her hair, and yeah, bunny rabbits, they like remind me of Easter. They also remind me of a bunny rabbit on the television, and he's a little bit naughty, and they go into the farmer's yard and they steal all the carrots and all the vegetables, and yeah, they get up to so much mischief, and it's such a funny movie. So yeah, if I've spoken too much about this, now you have to go away and watch Peter Rabbit. Love that movie. He's such a naughty bunny rabbit though, and I can't find where our copy of Peter Rabbit is ever since we moved. So this one, it's such a pretty fabric, and yeah, so those go together really nicely. So they're gonna be those ones together. And then there's also these bunny rabbit hand towels that Mum picked out. They've got little birdies and flowers and just very small bunnies. So definitely very nice. And they've got the peachy kind of colour trimmed down the bottom. So yeah, they're very pretty. And they'll be having the fabric I showed you before. So they're going to go together. Now Mum makes a fabric hand house. So some of you peoples have bought them before. I know Gloria's bought them before. And yeah, some of our relatives had. And we sold them at the market as well. So you might see those at the market. Now there is another hand towel in there, but I'm not sure what's happening about that one. It's pretty, it's got really nice yellow flowers on it. But yeah, I'll show you guys when we work out if it's Easter or not, because I think we're just doing bunnies for now. And that will just make you guys a little bit more curious, because you have to watch another video to find out what it is. Even though Mum's saying show it. Because she didn't get to come out and say hello.
Hello.
No, she's a sweetie. Come and say hi to everyone, Mum, on YouTube.
Hello everyone.
They wanna see you though. You have to go in front of the camera.
Oh, hello everyone. And the other hand towels have got one of my favourite flowers on it.
So some of your friends can guess.
That do not grow in Queensland. They grow in a cold place. They are a bulb.
So that's too much of a hint. We're gonna do some sewing now. So yeah, I'm not sure what lovely Mum is doing. So Mum's name is Claire.
I'm looking for materials.
Oh, she's looking for materials, which is lots of fun. So I think she wants a dress. So who knows? I might sneak around and make a video of Mum making a dress. And yeah, I don't know if she wants to be video making a dress, but yeah, that just got decided, didn't it?
I don't know.
Might be a bit scary. Yes, so pretty much I need to fold the fabric onto the inside to make these scrunchies, and I believe that the video stopped recording last time I did this. So we'll see how we go. So yeah, they're definitely a lot more fiddly just because of the way I have to fold it and make sure everything stays on the inside and no bits are on the outside, so that it just sews together really well, and I don't sew the inside bits with the outside seam. Otherwise I won't be able to sew the whole tube because nothing will move. So yeah, actually the electricity needs to be turned on. So this thing, I think I might need to buy felt to stick on the bottom of the chair. I don't really want to bring the office chair that we have in. I think that's just gonna be, it's big and it's bulky, and yeah, we got it second hand from some friends years ago on their garage sale, and I think it's just a little bit past its time. So with the overlooking of the scrunchies, I was explaining the other day that the reason I do this is to keep my products really high end, really good quality. So important. I just like them to be something that's going to last very well. And so this one might be an easier scrunchie to make compared to this print. When I was sewing this print the other day with all the pretty glitter, it gets stuck a little bit more because there's a bit more friction, but I think this one with less glitter will have a bit less than this one, which is underneath all the white ones. That might be a bit more tricky, but so pretty. It's just a fiddly kind of thing, being able to pull it through because it gets stuck at the end. So definitely being the thinner scrunchie, it is a little bit more work. So I definitely love this overlocker right now. I've got my eye on maybe getting a faster one day, but yeah, not just yet. Who knows, it might be at the end of the year, but I'm not certain about when I plan to do it. I'm not sure much about the domestic compared to the industrial. I know you can get really fast industrial sewing machines, and I see people sewing with them online and wow, they're so quick. But yeah, this one is faster than the overlocker that was like a miracle to use. Just because it hadn't been used for a long time and they see that. Oh, I felt like that before. I think it's dusty down there. I think, you know, like a house is always getting dusty just because it's like that. So yeah, if we get allergies, we sneeze so easily, and we live in Queensland. There are like wattle trees in different parts of Australia, and where we live it definitely has some of those. And then our yard's not too bad. There's a crepe myrtle tree in the backyard, which is really pretty, although it got too big. So that was a challenge. The fact that it was so massive. Things keep growing so much as well at this time of the year. It's so hot, and we're having a really wet summer in Australia right now. So today's been one of those really wet days where it's just rained and rained. So yeah, the grass, it got cut last week and it doesn't look like it's been cut. It's getting really long again. So losing battle with that. These are going to be the prettiest scrunchies with the glitter on them. So I have a few of the scrunchies that I sell online. I have some of them in my hair. I've got a couple of the Annabelle scrunchies. They're really pretty. I like the butterflies on them. So they are online on my Shopify account. So maybe one day I'll have have to wear one of those so you can see it. Just making sure everything goes in the right way. Not sure what that is, just step it off carefully. Just don't want to make a hole in anything. I mean, I'm pretty good now. I haven't done them in a while. I did it once when I was trimming or fraying or something on one of the scrunchies or something on one of the edges. It was such a long time ago. I can't remember. It might have been once the scrunchie was made a little bit. And I was also talking to a friend on the phone at once at the same time as doing a little bit of trimming. I cut some of the fabric and I couldn't make that one and it was a little bit sad. So I say that was before the brace up as well, which I used in the linen scrunchie just to help them hold together. Going to get all these Easter scrunchies finished. I know that my auntie, she's going to have a look at what the Easter scrunchies turn out. So I'm not sure if she's seen the fabrics yet. I'm not sure like how her day's going. But yeah, she might end up asking my cousin to take a bit of a look at the YouTube because I think she's more like younger, like me, and yeah, so it might be better that way. I know mum kind of like sometimes is like, oh, how does this thing work, or how does that thing work, but she goes on Facebook more than me, so it's pretty good. I guess more work and less talking from me would be good. So this is the one that really gets stuck a lot more. Do is once it's all bunched up, Mrs. Sophie's a little bit faster. Whoops. That's Mum on her phone. I think Facebook has a setting that makes it play automatically. Because it did that when I used to be with a different phone company and my bill was getting too high, and I went and saw them and they said that it might be because when I go on Facebook the videos are automatically playing and making my downloads high. So they turned the setting off so that they wouldn't automatically play and I could just choose to play if I wanted to. So technology, it can be so complicated. I just hope I've got enough space to record on my phone. I've decided that the next one I get is going to have a lot of storage space so that I can record well. Right now I'm just in a bit of a shoe buying frenzy, and yeah, my shipping number still didn't come for my shoes, so yeah, I wonder where they are. So they're from Mathers and they are so pretty. So I tried them on in the white pair, and those are the ones that fit me better than the pink pair. I tried them on as well just to make sure that the white pair was not too big, and yeah, they felt like they were squeezing my feet, the pink ones, so they obviously were just one size too small. So yeah, it's so true what Tony Robbins says about the golfer who's hitting the ball and he's not getting it into the hole because he's just 1 degree off from where he should be to succeed. So yeah, it's so true that like sometimes I guess if you're not feeling like you're meeting your goals, you just need to just make such a small adjustment. I mean, 1 degree, like you look at, I guess you look at measurement for degrees on a protractor, and that's not very much of a difference of the way someone has to hit a ball for golf, or you know, the amount of action you need to take before you achieve your goals, or maybe the way that you take your action. So yeah, definitely important. So I actually started doing Shekhinah Beautiful after going to Life Design. So yeah, that was with a company that my friend was running at the time. So it was an absolute pleasure to go to Life Design. So if you are out there watching, lovely, thank you so much. And thank you to your beautiful family and to your beautiful husband as well, if you're out there watching this video. Because when I started this business, I have fabrics because I like to go to Spotlight. I had made a few scrunchies. I never really sold them all. I didn't like the stretch of the elastic that was in them. It just wasn't really what I wanted. I hadn't found that, and I don't know, like these all sound like excuses, don't they? But maybe they are, or maybe it's like just lacking a confidence, or how do I get started? I didn't have a table to put anything on. I didn't even have displays. I had pegboards that I bought from Kmart when someone said that they were going on clearance, but I didn't have anything to hold them up. I didn't have all the pegs, all of those kind of things. Like I just had to get all of that slowly. My first market was at the local church and I borrowed their table and their gazebo. I didn't have a gazebo either. And yeah, sales were really quite low. It is a quiet market though. And also I just had everything flat on the table. We hung up the hand towels from the top of the gazebo and on a small clothing hanger as well. It was raining, they all got wet. A lot of the scrunchies we stuck to the top of the gazebo as well. I actually used long strips of cardboard to put through the scrunchies and around them and stapled them on. So the scrunchies were fine, but they got wet. Had to dry things. It was just... yeah, we sold a few things and that was it. And that was the first market that I ever did. But I've got to say that I'm grateful because I stepped out and yeah, it was a really nice market and yeah, I had some support from my friend as well. She came along and yeah, she came along to that market twice, so thank you so much. Particularly for your helping me when I couldn't do my gazebo and those kind of things with my shoulder. Absolutely appreciate it, lovely. So I'm getting there. It's so warm and sticky in this house. So normally I stick the last bit in with my little finger. Just like to do it that way. It's much easier. Smaller finger is going to fit in there better. So this is one of the short ones, and those are for little kiddos. Oh, that table, the chair always does that. Wonderful, it's working, still recording, just had to check. See, now I don't trust this phone at all, that it's going to keep recording for the time I need, but I deleted a lot of things. I have a lot of photos and apps on my phone, and they are taking up space. So I can't remember if this one made it on to the last video, but yeah, you might be watching this video rather than the other, and that's completely fine. This size scrunchie would be for your very little one. Let's put the needle up. just to fit around their hair nicely, as it's still quite fine when you're really, really little. So maybe like from 2 to 3. It does depend how thick their hair is. I did have one lady buy one of the longer, skinnier scrunchies for their daughter, but this was at a market. She was one of the vendors and her daughter had a lot of hair. It was very long and very thick. So yeah, definitely if the hair is quite fine and there's not a lot of it yet because they're still very young, this is a nice version. So all of the scrunchies have a great quality elastic from my supplier with a really good stretch. They hold in the hair for a really long time. So I've been wearing mine pretty much since I was out and it stayed in the hair really nicely. And all I did before I watched this video was just brush my hair a little bit, the longer parts, just to smooth it down and make it look really nice and presentable. But I didn't change the scrunchie. It's been staying for all this time. So I've had a lot of scrunchies in the past that they haven't been like that. They've fallen out of my hair very easily and haven't had a hold. Which is, yeah, it's quite frustrating because you can lose them or your kiddo can lose them. And yeah, so as long as they don't fall out of the hair, as long as they don't get taken out of the hair, I mean, then that's a really, really good thing. So I'm not sure what my mum's listening to. It sounds kind of nice.
Let's take care of yourself.
Oh, has it got something nice and positive?
Go for a walk, eat your favourite food, get a haircut. If you need to, read a book, take care of yourself, because at the end of the day, that's what you've got.
Wow, that's so nice.
And it's little hearts flying around in the air.
Hearts like Valentine's Day, which Shekhinah Beautiful missed this year, but I've had a sore shoulder, so yeah, that's kind of the reason why. But there's always next year. I also wanted to find something really unique, and yeah, I didn't. I really want to go to the fabric store and look at some of the fabrics, particularly silk. I love satin, but silk's really nice as well, so I would love to have some silk. It's very hard to get in Australia, Spotlight don't stock it, and when you do get it, it is really expensive. So I've heard that if you purchase silk when it's on sale at the fabric store, that it costs $20 a meter. So yeah, wow, it's not easy to get and it's quite expensive. So one of the reasons why I'm not doing silk scrunchies like right now Maybe one day.
I swapped my...
It's hot.
It is very hot. I'm so sweaty. I hate the heat. I rather it be nice and cool, but I haven't turned the air conditioner on today because power is so expensive. I don't know if you guys have noticed the cost of everything. The power, it costs a lot. I thought that was rain, and then I realized that Mum has turned the fan on. Smart move. Oh, I've still got so many to do. Definitely because it's a bit more fiddly. You'll see when I start doing lighter scrunchies. But those ones have to be cut, and I mean, they're probably okay. The lady tutoring me said I don't have to not do white and use the colours, but seeing I've got them, I'd like to use like the purple for the purple. I've got plenty of purples that I purchased them when they're on special, 10 for $10 at Spotlight. I got some for the pretty pink scrunchie that I'll be making as part of Bedazzled. So that one can't have any white inside of it. I think you'll see why I can't put white thread when I start showing you guys all the fabric. Oh, not happy with that. I'm gonna fix it. So yeah, it's pretty easy to do. I'll just over the top. You won't ever know that I did that. I'm just trimming out some of the threads, and yeah, when I first used the overlocker, I really had to pay attention that I wasn't holding it too tightly because that can stop it from going through. It likes to feed itself through and not to be held too tight at the front. So I do have some soreness in my shoulder right now. So yeah, I might so a bit slower. So for those of you watching, I'm just wondering, do you have a favorite color or a particular type of fabric that you would really love to see in the scrunchies? there's so many pretty fabrics at Spotlight. Sometimes I wish I could just take them all home with me. Sorry. So one of the things that I love to do to spend my time when I am elasticating scrunchies is to watch movies. I've watched a lot of Encourage TV, and I find that that channel, I found it on YouTube, and there's a lot of really lovely stories. I've also watched a lot of other genres of movies. I'm very passionate in people being knowledgeable about different things that happen around in the world, like human trafficking, those kind of things. I'd love to see it stop, and to be honest, it's such a big issue that's in the world that it's like right now it's beyond my reach and beyond my comprehension. That could I even do something to help people? Or I don't know, like right now, yeah, it's a really big thing, but I think just having awareness about it, that's really good. So we watched some movies about that. We also watched The Sound of Freedom. We saw it at the cinema. And yeah, it was a really wonderful movie. Definitely very informative and very eye-opening about what happened in that movie, and how this man from America did his utmost best to help the children and help the victims with, I guess, what they go through is really hard. So when I was young, before I went to uni, I didn't know that human trafficking existed. I was in my 20s, I was 21, and I had never heard of it. I didn't hear about it until doing one of my public health units at uni, and yeah, it was definitely a pretty alarming to me now as I'm a lot older than that age to think that I didn't know about this and that my family did not know that this kind of thing was happening in the world. I just, yeah, it feels like, yeah, like we could collectively all do a lot more just if we had awareness of the matter and the fact that that is happening. So that is one of the things that I would love to do something to, like, if you're giving to a charity or something like that later on down the track, it's one of my goals right now with business setup costs and all of those things. I'm just working on growing my business first, and it will be something that I do later on down the track. Because yeah, I want to help people, and I'm also very interested in life coaching. So yeah, I'm not sure how that looks right now, how that looks about getting a qualification for becoming a life coach, or any of those kind of things, but I find it really exciting and an interesting genre, something to be quite passionate about, particularly the psychology that goes behind a life coach, or maybe how they could help people with getting unstuck or those kind of things. Like you're stuck in your career or you're stuck in your goal and you haven't worked out how you're going to achieve it. And I know sometimes we just have to start and not do it perfectly, but just do it. So yeah, with my Facebook, I've done a lot of Facebook Lives, but I didn't have a tripod to start with. I just started, and it's a good way of getting people to see your product and getting yourself out there with the videos. So yeah, one of the visions about Shekhinah Beautiful is that I really want women to realize that you are beautiful regardless of whatever's happened to you in the past or all of those kind of things, regardless of what you think. When you look in the mirror, you are beautiful. That's one of the really important things that I want you to know. And so Shekhinah, I think it might be from the Hebrew, but I'm not very good at recalling these things. It's a while since I looked at that. Hang on. But yeah, Shekhinah means the glory of God, and putting it with beautiful on the end, I take it that Shekhinah Beautiful means the glory of God is beautiful, which is why you would be finding that underneath my business name, just so that people can know what it means. Oh, this is really stuck. So yeah, one of the things that I felt like the meaning of that, like it's more than about the scrunchies. It's more than about the glory of God is beautiful, but it's about each one seeing the beauty that they have. Oh, I've got a lovely mother. She's come up to me with my phone, and I hope this is still recording. Maybe she goes around to the other side of the phone. She'll be able to see if it's still recording. Maybe go around that way. And she's brought me the meaning. I probably just clicked on Wikipedia, which I didn't want to do, and it says Shekhinah is the English translation of a Hebrew word meaning dwelling or settling, and denotes the presence of God in a place This concept is found in Judaism and the Torah, as mentioned in Exodus 25:8. Is it still recording?
It is.
Isn't that a success? Because last time I couldn't get past 8 minutes.
That's
And that
wonderful.
is why when it was 8 minutes before you were just singing, the page just went silent, and I never thanked you for watching because it cut out and I couldn't do it. And then the others became really short. So yeah, you need to know you're beautiful. So yeah, and sometimes I think that's a process, particularly with how complex all of our lives has got. Yeah, so to those of you who would love to start a YouTube channel, just start it, and I think you'll find that your confidence will come when you're doing your editing and those kind of things that you're doing for your video. Your confidence is going to come for that. So once you've started it, and I was out in my car today when I was driving, I pretty much was thinking that, imagine if I hadn't have started, imagine if no one looked at my video, I'd be like putting it off to the next week or the week after that, and I'd be one day more later than having started, one day less of losing that opportunity of growing my channel, sharing about Shekhinah Beautiful with people, and that wouldn't happen. And then imagine if that one day turned into a week, and that week turned into a month, that month turned into like a quarter, and then it turned into 6 months, and then kind of turned into 3 quarters, and all of a sudden I'm like a year from here. And imagine if I hadn't started, that would be another year before I get to achieve the success and achieve my goals. And I think this isn't just for YouTube, this is for life and for our goals. So yeah, once you start, it's going to be so much easier. I mean, I remember watching different people online and them saying, just start your business, and I was getting this all the time. And then Mum and I, at times we went through a phase where we had to find a rental property, and this was in Australia when it was very difficult to find a rental property. And we would stay up really late watching Chantal Icabe, and she pretty much, if you've been to church and you've been called a prayer warrior or something like this, you'd understand. She'll just like be praying, and yes, it's like if you're a loud prayer, or if you know people who do that, she prays very loudly. So yeah, we were in the bedroom praying every night, and we were saying, we will not live in our cars, we will receive a rental property. And we just prayed and prayed and prayed until eventually we found a house. It's not this one that we're living in now. It was a townhouse later on, and the weirdest thing, like I used to do a job where I drove my car, and yeah, I had through my work, like I realized that it was a really nice area. And yeah, I said to Mum, I remember this area, I remember these houses are now getting built. I think this is the house that we have got to apply for, and we wanted solar. It was one of the things on our list, and we went in and looked at the house. Thought the rooms are really big, it's lovely. The kitchen wasn't a massive kitchen, but it had a really big bench, heaps of bench space. We really missed the kitchen there so much. But yeah, that's another story in itself. We walked into the garage, And then we asked the real estate agent, what is that big box thing on the wall? And she's like, oh, it's a solar. And I'm like, oh, it's got solar. And then I say, can we apply for it? And so we applied for that house and got that one. And yeah, it's so uncanny. The house that we're in now, the real estate sold it to the owner. And yeah, we just don't know, like, I think it's like a God thing. We got this house. It was like, I don't know if we applied for many others. I honestly can't remember. I think it's the first one we applied for. We might have applied.
Apply for any others.
So we might not have applied for any others. It took about 2 weeks, but we got it straight away. It's the first one we applied for, and it's just so nice to, you know, and God, He's got our backs and He looks after us in so many different ways. And it's interesting I'm speaking about this. I'm sewing an Easter scrunchie with rainbows on it. So God, He made the rainbow because of what happened in the Old Testament. There was a lot of flooding, but pretty much everywhere was flooded, and Noah built an ark, and all these things happened, and it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. And when it finished, God made a rainbow to promise that He wouldn't do it again. So yeah, like promises of God and how He looks after us. He's so good. So yeah, I don't know why I'm talking about these things. Just think I feel like I'm meant to. So that's really nice. It's definitely hard to sew fast and talk at once, and kind of a bit distracting from being sore. So shout out to those people that I've recently shared my video with. Thank you so much if you're watching. I appreciate it so much. So I started making scrunchies after I finished my Certificate 3 in Business with Legal. And yeah, currently I'm not working in the industry, but I would love to, maybe later on down the track. For now, I'm working on my shoulder being a little bit better, and yeah, growing my business. Just, it is my passion, as well as the legal industry. It definitely is very amazing how different legal professionals help people, or how our lives all depend on it so much, and the knowledge of legal. And it's definitely a lot to give. Like, you're giving back to the community by working in legal and those kind of things. I have a lot of respect for those people who do that. So yeah, after I finished my course, just like I was looking for work and just being at home quite a lot, I got really bored. So I started doing my sewing, and yeah, I started making scrunchies. I was doing my assessment. A friend, I went to their house, and yeah, Nicole, she helped me out with using some of the technology, just because there wasn't a big background. So yeah, I was doing my assessment at Nicole's house, and yeah, her husband's in business, and so her husband Simon came home, and yeah, I just distinctly remember getting this feeling in my mind or in my heart that it would be so good to have a product to sell. And like, I like baking, it's a hobby, and I kind of thought, I just don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, if I do baking, I need to get a license from the council. They need to invite them into the home. It needs to be to their standard. I need to have a separate fridge. Apparently they like you to have a stainless steel bench, and yeah, all this rah rah rah. And I was like, well, that's not gonna happen, particularly as sometimes when you rent, you're just moving for no particular reason at all, apart from the owner wants to live in the house, or they want to sell, or all these things happen when you're renting. So yeah, I was like, so I'm going to go to all this worry, all this expense. Obviously I'm not going to renovate the house and put stainless steel benches in either when we're renting. And we're not going to just rent a house that's got stainless steel benches just so I can make muffins or make cakes and sell them at markets and have to worry about food handling and all of that kind of stuff that you need for it. So I just thought, I went home and I watched a video on YouTube, and someone was making scrunchies on YouTube like I am now, and you know, I just thought, that's what I'll do. I'll make scrunchies. And so that was when it all started. But that was a lot past 2023, so I had this belief that, oh, I've got to have a whole heap of it before I go and start. I've got to do this before I go and start. And yeah, all these things. And yeah, then my life coach friend came back, and yeah, I've been following her company for a while anyway, because I've been interested in life coaching. I had to finish my legal certificate first. I don't think I knew really what expectations would be about it, or all of those kind of things, and I had to focus on finishing my certificate. So I didn't start with doing the coaching course back then, and yeah, so my friend was just, she knew about the scrunchies, she'd seen them, and she was like, wow, these are really good quality. I think you can really do this. And yeah, I think that's what I needed. Like, sometimes I just need that affirmation. And so yeah, if you're not succeeding in the area you want to succeed in, look at your environment, look at who you've got around you, all of those kind of things. Like, you know how they say, like, your circle, your 5 circle of people, and should be people who are encouraging to you, and they need to believe in you and to be able to help you to succeed. If you want to succeed in money, have some people around you who are really successful with their money, and yeah, learn from them and learn from what they do with their money. Like, those kind of things, that's is really important. Or like with your goal setting, have someone who's successful at doing that and successful at achieving their goals. So yeah, and then like me and Jodie or my friend, we were talking quite a bit, and yeah, she'd literally ring me up and she'd be like, you've got to go to the market, and I'd be like, I can't go because I've got this bill to pay, or I can't go because of this thing. And she's like, no, but you have to go, because once you go, you'll have the money for all of these other things that you're saying you need. And yeah, it was that kind of encouragement, but also not letting things that were real concerns be an excuse, that got me to step out and to move forward. And I'm so glad, because otherwise I wouldn't be here. doing this right now, I wouldn't have my Shopify, which is definitely the biggest goal, was to be online and do Shopify. So I put all the links to my Shopify account down the bottom underneath all of the videos so that you can read it. And you can click on the link and yeah, you'll find all of these scrunchies. They will look pretty when they're turned in the right way. They're just scrunchy tubes. I probably put my chopped up elastic somewhere in the house. I don't know, like ever since Christmas time and having a very long break, things seem to, yeah, they seem to get places. I do have plenty. So I might just have to cut some more up to make these scrunchies. I'm definitely going to go on a hunt around the house though, because I know that I've got quite a few that I didn't use over Christmas time making Christmas scrunchies, so we'll see how it goes. Definitely when you're making scrunchies, it's really important to tuck the long part in, just because otherwise you'll get a big bulky bit at the end and you might find it hard to make the hole smaller to be able to put the elastic in. I have to leave the hole, but I also don't want it too big because otherwise it's more to sew up. And so I don't currently have labels on my scrunchies. It will be something that I'm going to look into doing later on. Right now I want to break even first, and so many expenses like with the overlocker breaking and those kind of things, and getting all of the equipment, that it's something that I've put on my list to achieve later on, ordering those things. I'm just checking that the fabric's the same length either side. Sometimes it can be a bit longer on the top or the bottom depending on how it's sewn. These ones are doing quite good though, so I don't need to pull the shorter part. So I've got, what have I got more? I've got 4 more to go. I'm a little bit sore, so I think it's time I probably should have a break and get back to it later, just so if I keep going while I'm a little bit sore, really sore shoulder. So, and I've got 20% battery as well. Mum she's over here. I think she's reading a book.
I am.
What one are you reading, Mum?
Oh, it's just a book.
I think I know the one.
It's about a girl that became a nun.
Oh, it's that one?
And then she left being a nun after a period of time.
She did. I'm just lengthening my tripod, so I'm so sorry if it is a little bit wonky right now. But yeah, my hand I definitely don't have a wedding photographer's hand. I can say that for sure. I don't have the practice, but yeah, I'm gonna put that down. And so I don't know, Mum, if you know where your patterns are for
I've got
doing.
heaps of patterns over here.
So those I think you're referring to as sewing patterns, but
Oh, the
for
hand towel
handhelds?
patterns. I thought they were on that bookcase,
so that we can cut out the pieces.
but they may have got put in here. Where? They're on the
Also, I don't know if you know how to tell which one is 0.6 of a meter and which one isn't.
Yes, that was the remnant you got.
That wasn't it? Because someone had not wanted it all, and then it was chopped in half because I
So the other piece,
the longer piece will be 0.6.
are you still filming this?
I still am. So it's this
bit
pretty
is
fabric.
0.6 of a metre.
That is the one for the bunnies with the glasses on. So yeah, I wonder if you went to an optometrist to get glasses, if you were like in Peter Rabbit or something, what he would be, like what animal. I don't know. Bunnies are cute anyway, and Easter's a beautiful time of the year.
Bunnies should have good eyes, they eat lots of carrots.
So that fabric is for these bunnies. They're so cute. And yeah, this is what the glasses look like if they're wearing green glasses. They're really, really big glasses. Like, I remember when I wore glasses and they're like tinsy glasses, like they're so small, and then I got bigger because they came in fashion, but I also couldn't see the tops of them. It used to drive me crazy when I could see the tops. So Mum cuts out the fabric on the iron board, which is, yeah, it's a really good spot just because it's a good height as well. You can stand up to do the cutting. We've got lots of fabrics here. Just move a few at a time.
That is the size of the top there, isn't it?
Do you have the pattern?
I'm looking to see if it's in one of these sewing boxes.
So I think we might find the pattern later on. I don't know if you guys can see me in this. Maybe you can now. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and please like and subscribe to my channel, and I hope that you all have a lovely day. Bye.